Well, hello, Tina. How are you this evening?
I'm good. It's good to see you virtually, like we're all working.
Exactly. Thanks for making time for us to chat tonight.
This year, what really stood out to me are two things: is the strategic plan that has been developed by Foothold and the progress we've made towards it, and then the COVID response, and what we were able to do. With regards to the strategic plan, you can have a great plan and you can have all these things, but when it comes right down to it, it's the due diligence of the it's the tactics, right? It's the down in the weeds, day to day implementation of the stuff, right? So whether that's making the diligence about feeding the biosand filters for clean drinking water, or it's the ladies making the soap, or it's the sewing of the pads and distributing them, right? It's those daily things, and getting things done. And I think that's where, now that we have some true, really measurable goals, and we've really put some meaty stuff around the goals and what Foothold wants to accomplish, I think that's a really great step. And so, being able to share with everyone those steps. And the other thing too is that it's the great relationships that have been built over these many years that allowed the teams on the ground and the teams here and to respond to what we're all responding to, which is the COVID virus. Without that ability and without those strong relationships, being able to help people on the ground there would not have been, there would be no success. And I think that, being able to mobilize quickly for the food scarcity and to be able to put the building up and to be able to come up with some other ideas along with that were in the works, but really got accelerated. I think the amazing support through the Facebook and the fundraising in order to pull that off was, part of the question, part of the thing we're going to talk about for the banquet is why give? Well, that's it, right? That is a real impact. That is real people. And even if you don't ever have met them, it's the humanity of it all. Regardless of what's going on in the world, that's the humanity, right? That's the mission. And so, being able to have those great relationships, to be able to impact lives in that way, and that's a big response. But the little responses in being able to impact lives are the pads, right? And keeping girls in school when they hit puberty, clean water, not having to pull them out of school to go get water every day, right? Like those are little things we never dream about having to deal with, right? But those are real lives someplace else, and we can put faces and names and impact to that. And that is what this organization does. And that is the biggest reason why to support and to give, because it's really transcends everything but just being a Christian, but being a human being. So I think it speaks to the relationships that have been built. And this has not been something that's been fly by night, or you build a building and, you leave. This is this long-term bridge building of relationships with a people, right? And a community who are embracing of the things that have been brought forward. But it really too speaks to, and I think the impact of not being there and making stuff happen has been about the sustainability, right? The ability to, and it's not making others adapt your culture. It is being able to bring things that others value and that they embrace, and they want to make change for the better for themselves and for the people around them, right? It's not a give me, it's a, building, and that we build bridges with them, they build bridges with their own people, and then just great things happen, right? So, and I think that's, again, that's another reason why to get that, because that's the essence of what we're doing here.
And I think another thing happening without us being there also shows that we're not that, like it's not an Americans coming, that dynamic we try to fight against.
Right.
That did all of this, right?
Right.
They saw their leaders within their community doing this. Like we were just giving them what we had to spare.
Yeah, and I think if there's ever a mission in action moment, right, it was in response to the last 6 months, right, of being able to really help even when you couldn't be there, right. This crisis is really, it's just been that just the compilation of the work that's been done, right? It all came together. And I think that, you know, moving forward, that work gets to continue. Plus, it's all the other great ideas that not only from the strategic plan, but all the other ideas and thoughts and how can we help here and how can we help there and you know, opportunities that there are to continue to help.
Mhm.
um, and some of it's going to be virtual, right, and some of it's going to be boots on the ground, and some of it is going to be the sustainability piece with Pastor Sampson and, you know, the women's group and you know, all those connections that we have, right, and we'll just continue that. I think where Foothold is headed, you know, with a strong strategic direction, you know, we've got a game plan, and there was always a game plan, but we've got it in writing. We've got measurements that we can bring back to others to show, you know, really a value that, because sometimes others demand something that is measurable, right? Metrics. And so, you know, we're providing those. I think that we have the opportunity as a group to continue to build on all the relationships, right? The relationship with Pacha Soap, for, you know, the relationships that we have with the groups that are supporting us, you know, we still have, and Foothold still has lots of goals that they want to meet. And so those are all those things that are pretty exciting to think about, to work on. There's more to do, and it's all good work. So
You know, I'm really grateful for, you know, you and the board's leadership on setting that strategic plan, because it's been so affirming. Instead of it being something that was this arbitrary, you know, number that we had to meet, it was something that helped us kind of really enhance our conversations, really reflect on how to improve. I've been doing some tracking with Charity, and through the numbers, it's brought up a lot of conversations that I wouldn't have thought to ask. There's a lot of questions that even came up, and opportunities for us to clear up even cultural misunderstandings just by
sure.
looking at the data. And so the data has really driven us to understand things that I don't think we would have known how to verbalize, you know, but you start to see you start to see a trend in the numbers. Oh, what's going on here? And there's more to the story. And so I think that's what's been great about this, is just that encouragement and that leadership for us to do that. And that also makes it just makes us holds us more accountable for what we're doing, but it wasn't in a bad way. It was a really encouraging
No.
way. So
And it also too allows you to see that if what you're doing is really working, and it allows you to see if you need to course correct or change directions, right? Because we're measuring this and we aren't having an impact. Well, why aren't we having an impact? You know what? Well, it could be a cultural thing, or it could be, you know what, we're trying to accomplish the wrong thing for this, and this isn't the right tactic in order to do that. And so a good strategic plan and being able to continue to, you know, work it and modify it when needed allows you to be a little bit more nimble and not so entrenched, so that you can again respond to things as needed, like has happened in the last year.
right.
As the director of the board, I'm grateful for all the support that people give, that they have given in the past, that they may be new to giving, or, you know, or their continued giving, and especially grateful that people who gave in a time of turmoil, right, in the spring when it was really needed and there was an appeal. So I'm very grateful for that, and all the support that everyone gives to Foothold. I'm looking forward to a great virtual banquet, and thanks so much.